Haven't used it since, since then. Now I remember why. So irritating. Can you stop? And this? Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do this full glam look. I'm going to use the Mercury Retrograde Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. I've used it once before, but now I want to play with it again. And of course we have some new products and also old products. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea of this video. If you're not already subscribing to my channel, I really suggest you to do that. Just click the button down there and the bell for notifications every time I upload a new video. But with no further ado, let's get into this. So today I have tried to find the perfect foundation for me because I have realized that it turns out a bit more pinkish and orange on me, my foundations. So now I have looked through all of them and found two that are pretty good in the shade. But to neutralize that even more, I want to have a primer with some green in it because I am olive and olive is green, my foundation is not green, so I want to put in some more green in my base. So I'm going to use the Face Studio Prime Anti-Redness Primer. So this of course is green and I think it will help a bit. I haven't tested it out yet, but... And I actually have two foundations on now. I have one here and the other one here. You may not see them because they're matching me so good. You always want to take your foundation. I take it like this and down on the neck because in your face you can have redness or freckles or any discoloration, and that is overtone, and the overtone can trick you to think you have another undertone, but undertone and the overtone is two different things, and your actually undertone you can see much better on your neck and body if you not have a sunburn or anything. So that's why I always take it down to the neck, because if I would color match a foundation to my face, I would have to pick up a red foundation. That's why you do that. Just to explain. You may wonder why I haven't color matched my foundation before. I mean, I know how you do it, but I thought I did it, you know, because it looks great. But recently when I started to film with these lights, you see it kind of in a different way. So now I can see so good with this light. So now I actually see the color different, and that may be a bit more difficult in regular light or in daylight and regular lamps. So that's why. And for my T-zone, I want to have a primer that minimizes my pores. So I'm going to use the Pore Professional Pore Primer from Benefit. This is a sample size and I love it. Used it many times, and this is actually almost empty. And you also want to press it into those huge pores. And recently I've started to fill in my eyebrows with shadows instead of a pomade, and I do not have a shadow that's specific made for your eyebrows. I have actually ordered one, but now I use my contour palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the light to medium, and I use this middle shade and I apply it with angled eyebrow brush from InStylish. And then I go in with my pomade. Yeah, I just said I stopped with pomades, but I fill in the ends and the arch with the pomade, and this is the NYX Tamer Frame Tinted Brow Pomade in the shade Espresso. Recently I did a video where I try to make this as new again. I think it's in my cut crease video. Haven't used it since, since then. Now I remember why. This is so hard to work with, and that went dark really fast. Well, we clean that up later. Now we carve out the eyebrows and clean up that mistake. We used the Studio Finish Concealer NC15 from MAC and a concealer brush. This is from Brushworks, I think. No, the Color Workshop eyeshadow. Okay, no eyeshadow, thank you. And I recently started to do this, like the last year or so. Before that, I just, okay, they look terrible, it's fine. For eyeshadow, we are going to use the Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. I've actually just used this once, so therefore I want to test it out some more. And it's really, really beautiful. I love these shades. So I think we're going to do a golden look, as always. I think I did a purple look with this. I will take some Tarte Shape Tape on my eyelids as a base and just blend that out. This is a new brush I'm testing out, a foundation brush. I don't think it looks like a foundation brush, but we're going to test it. And then we apply some regular tape to our eyes or to a face. This is really good when you want that sharp line. Just like that. And then we go in with the eyeshadow. So we need an eyeshadow brush. So we start with my Morphe M573, just a regular blending eyeshadow brush, and the shade Off Balance. It's a bit dark to be a transition color, but we are being brave today. And I always take my shadows a bit high because my lids are a bit lazy, so if I don't, you can't actually see the shadows when I'm looking normal, and that's why I do it. And a tip I can share with you is holding your brush like this, not in here, because that's going to be very hard on the lid. You want to hold it here, and when you're doing that, you get these feathery strokes. Of course, you want it to be good in the hand, so I hold it like this. Of course, you can't hold it like that when you're doing small details, but you can when you blend. I love this shade. And make sure you blend it on the lower lash line as well, and close to the tape so you don't have a gap when you take it off. And you may need some practice for this. I did in the beginning, because when I did it for the first time, it was like a gap under the tape, so the shadow went under and it looked terrible. We take that Karma and just blend it on top. It's not lighter or darker, but it warms up the shadow a bit. We take a much smaller brush and Vortex the darkest shadow to darken up the outer end. And then we do the same on the other eye. And then a clean blending brush just to blend everything, make it look perfect. I think we take a flat brush and some Cosmic, or do we? Because that looks very pink. No, we take another flat brush and Supermoon. and then blend it out on the lid a bit. I think I like that. So we take off the tape. Then I just take a wipe and wipe off that fallout. And of course my eye starts to watering. Well, I need to go up and take some eye drops because I'm not going to be able to apply the lashes if my eyes keep on watering. So I will be right back. And my eyes are still watering. So irritating. On summer I get really allergic to a lot of things, so my eyes watering all the time, and that's really irritating. But they shouldn't be watering right now. I don't know what's wrong. And I just draw my waterline with a black eyeliner pen, and you can't tell what the name of this is, so I have no idea, but really cheap one. And then we draw eyeliner on the eyelid, so the application of the lash is going to be much easier because you can't tell where the eyelash band is. And we use the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I use it every time. I love it. And we're going to use some lashes from Mulak. It's the Sorbiata. These are Glam. Very Glam. Yeah. Let's see how much we want to cut. I think that's good. So I take my lash glue from Duo. And while this dries a bit, I'm going to apply some mascara. This is the Roller Lash from Benefit. Where is my tweezer? Okay, these are so Glam. I can't handle. They're huge. Oh my god. Do people use these big lashes on a daily basis? I never do. I've always been a bit afraid of testing, you know, dramatic things, but I like it. This is my new style. I'm going to use it every day. Much easier to apply when they are big. When we apply them, and they have dried, I fill in that eyeliner to hide any glue that's not transparent. We apply some foundation, and I'm going to mix the Too Faced Born This Way medium to full coverage foundation with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in the shade Soft Ivory. So we're going to mix them. And I'm going to apply the foundation with my Real Techniques buffing foundation brush. I've only used it once ages ago, so I'm going to test it again. So I just apply foundation on my hand and then mix in some of the Wet n Wild one. Oof, this Wet n Wild foundation, it smells like paint, you know, for the walls or ceiling or that kind of paint. I hope this looks good now because I worked so hard color matching. I live in Sweden and everyone is light, but I'm so light that I have a very hard time finding my shade. So that's really irritating, and I understand the problems of dark-skinned people because I have that same problem, but with light foundations and concealers and powders and contours, and I have problem with every product because I'm so light and have a different undertone than the most people. That's very irritating. This looks pretty good, I think. Maybe I should have one shade lighter and a bit more olive, but it will do. The brush was actually good. Today I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer in the shade Porcelain. This is almost done. I think that looks good, right? If I have any olive-toned subscribers, please comment and write me what foundation you are using and if it's a perfect match. Give me some recommendations, I would love that. I'm just applying my Max & More contour stick to the face. And then just blend that out, maybe with this foundation buffing brush that I don't think, no, I'm just kidding. We blend that out with my Mulac Artist brush. Never really using this. It's very hard. It's going to be a long video again, I'm sorry guys. This is full glam, okay? And we take my other Real Techniques brush. This is for blush, I think, but we're going to use it and apply my City Bronzer from Maybelline in the shade Medium Cool. And this looks really, really weird, I know. I'm going to blend it in a bit. But we apply some blush. This is the Technique Match Mega Blush palette. We're going to use the coral shade. So now we take my loose powder. This is from Isadora, loose setting powder. And this is supposed to be fair. So I take my sponge in that powder and set my face. And because this has some color to it, it will blend out everything. Now we let that sit for a minute and then we brush it off. So we take a clean brush and just press and brush the powder off. So we take this brush from Colourpop, the F5, and the contour kit from Anastasia. And with that shade, we're going to just lightly contour our nose. Very, very lightly. We may blend some afterwards, but we do the rest of the face and then we see how it looks. I'm going to apply some more of that eyeliner. Just make sure everything's black. And some of the same mascara on the lower lashes. And of course we want some highlighter, so we take my very, very old Revolution Vivid Golden Light Baked Highlighter. This is so good, and I take it with the same Colourpop brush we used before. This is so insane. And it's very easy to over apply with this because it's so intense. So sometimes I go back in with my sponge to just tone it down a bit. Where were I? Yeah, I need some brow setter, so I'm going to use one from NYX, the Bear With Me brow setter. Really, really good. I love it. And I always do this after all my powders because I don't want powder in the eyebrows. We want some lipstick, so I'm going to use the Sugar Daddy from Medusa's Makeup. This isn't a well-known brand, but I received it in Glossybox, so I'm going to use this today. I think that's a bit too light, so we go in with my Buff Matte Lipstick from Anastasia. And the last step is a setting spray. This is the Kanji Cosmetics Pre-Glow Up Mist. I received it last week, I think, in the Glossybox as well. Or was it? I think it was. Or maybe in Goodiebox? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm going to test this out. A good spray, so it's not too intense, and I have nothing negative to say about that. So that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course if you want notifications every time I upload a new video, you can click the bell. And yeah, I see you in the next video. Bye!